Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Crooked Illness. I am so beyond excited to be diving into the power of gratitude with my wonderful guest, Krystal Karmatz. Krystal is a mindset coach and the creator of the B.O.L.D mindset course. After diving into this course and the many incredible conversations I've had with Krystal, I just knew I had to have her get into this topic with me. She played a huge role in the inspiration behind my decision to release my free 28-day gratitude journal and the Facebook community group. So I couldn't think of anyone better to bring this topic of conversation to Crooked Illness to the table other than Krystal. You guys will learn today why I have so much love for her and all the work that she does. So without further ado, welcome Krystal to the podcast.
Hey girl, oh my God, I feel like this has been a long time coming. Yes, I feel
Right?
like after our conversations and getting to know you, I'm like, okay, I got to know more about this girl. We got to
Yes.
talk. We've got
Right?
to, I know it's so
That's
good. It's so
that's why I had to put that in the intro, because you guys don't know. Like, you will find out today. Like, has done so much just in the world of gratitude, and I'm just so excited to dive into this story and just for you guys to hear more about her. So before we go ahead and just get on to this topic, I would love for you, Krystal, just to kind of like share some more of your story with us. Tell us some more about who you are, what you do, and what you love.
Yes, girl. Okay, first and foremost, I am an F-bomb mom. I'm a wife. I'm a business owner. I run these two crazy, amazing coaching businesses, and I have dubbed myself as the mindset hype girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And you know what's crazy is I always say I grew up a statistic, and like I can go back and I can talk about my childhood and all the trauma, but let's talk about the most important stuff. Let's talk about the most important stuff today. And I'm going to start with my mental health journey and how the importance of gratitude really, really opened my eyes and shifted my perspective on life. It's been crazy because in the middle of 2018, is when I really felt like my mental health was dwindling. I was spiraling. I went into hiding. Like I started having these crazy, dark, intrusive thoughts. I was having suicidal ideation. Everything was on the rocks. My business fell on the rocks, my parenting, my marriage, everything. And I felt alone because I was in hiding. I didn't want to tell people what was going on in my life. And I came to this conclusion that my kids needed a different mom. My husband needed a different wife, and I just needed to disappear. And that was one of the hardest moments in my life because I had people, my social media friends and my family that were telling me I was so great, but they didn't know what was happening on the inside. Fast forward to the beginning-ish spring of 2019, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, OCD, and PTSD, and it just kind of felt like I was losing myself. I was a failure. I felt defined and useless. And I literally considered throwing my coaching business away. I spent 5 to 6 months battling myself. I was going through all these different medications. And I think it was around August of 2019. And I was in such a bad episode. And my psychiatrist was like, Krystal, we need to put you on lithium on top of your mood stabilizers. And I was on my way to get my prescription filled. And I pulled up to Walgreens. I'm Googling what lithium is. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to keep numbing out. I'm not going to reduce myself. And that was the moment, August 2019, that I turned my page in my book and I decided to write a new chapter. And I'm not saying it was easy, but it started with my gratitude practice. I started researching. I was looking into spiritual practices and grounding techniques, working with my therapeutic team. I finally started opening up to my husband. I was hiring coaches and mentors, and I just decided to head first. I just dove head first into my healing journey. And now, fast forwarding to today, I haven't had an episode since August 2019, and I am fully immersed in my gratitude practice. I am fully immersed in my personal development and staying on top of my coping techniques so that if I ever have a bad moment, if I ever go into another bad episode, I have the tools I need. It's like putting in place preventatives, kind of like taking my Lamictal every day. Hey, girl,
I love it.
I'm an advocate. If you need to take your meds, you need to take your meds. You do you, boo. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
gosh, I
Uh,
love it. Yes.
yes, yes.
Oh,
And most importantly, out of all of this, I finally started serving myself. I was finally putting myself first instead of checking everyone else's boxes. I just found my true self.
that's huge. That is huge, huge. And just I love the way you just like laid that out and just really dove into that and just like described all of those parts because that's why I felt like such a strong connection with you because I remember like seeing you on Instagram and one day I was just on there and I saw you do a post and you were talking about bipolar and I was like wow. And I'm like I literally sat there and I read it. I'm like I feel everything that she is saying and talking about right now because that I connect with you so much because I was also diagnosed bipolar and also taking lithium as well, so all the stuff and just I really love though how you bring up that part of serving yourself because out of like everything like the struggles, the downfalls, the hard moments, the challenges, the obstacles, you had that and you still can stay consistent with that and you had that vision and you saw that for yourself, but you've made that gratitude practice a daily thing and I just think that's so helpful because look what it's really done for you from going from you said not having an episode since 2019
Yeah, girl.
2019 and we're in 2021 and here you are just you're like I love it just seeing your smiles, your energies, your videos on Instagram, just like this girl right here, like there's something inside of her that like we just need to share with the world and get into this story because it is so powerful and just I love it so much that I can go on and on and on about that, but we have so much more to get into today with all of this
Yes,
because
yes.
one of the other big things that I really love about you is that the bold mindset course that you created. So I would love to get into that. So I'd love to hear from you, like what led you to the creation of the course and what have you learned from putting the course out into the world so far?
Yes, girl. Okay, so crazy story. I felt moved to begin creating something, didn't know what, at the beginning of 2020. But before that, I had this super uncomfortable feeling in my first coaching business, which is all about health and fitness and nutrition, which is amazing and it's running successfully. But I felt like there's got to be more. And through my spiritual practice, I'm like, okay, I always got to be evolving. I always got to be
Yeah.
leveling up. Right. And I wasn't feeling fulfilled as I once was. And it was literally like something's missing, which made me feel guilty at first. I felt really guilty because I have this amazing business. Who am I to be feeling this way? So I ignored that push from the universe, from God, for months. I just ignored it. And around summer, it was loud and clear, summer of 2020, it was loud and clear that I needed to make some moves in my life. I was
Yes.
finding myself just not feeling aligned anymore. And my whole vibe, my whole mindset is built based on me having this give zero F's attitude. I need to align, I need to level up. And I'm always striving to walk in my truth. So I had to listen to what the universe was trying to tell me. I needed to lean in. I needed to hear. So for 3 months, I journaled, I meditated, I paused, I listened. And around the end of August, what is up with August? Why is August? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Like
Oh
August 2019, transformative. August
yes.
2020, transformative. that's my month. I guess that's my
Big
month.
things.
Yes, yes. And so I woke up August 2020 and I told myself, I woke up and I said, I need to be bold. I need to be bold. And that's when I started putting everything together that I had been learning over the years from my mentors, my coaches, my therapist. And I put together how I started with writing my story. I started writing down all of my setbacks, all of my obstacles, how I overcame them. I started crafting up a course before I even realized it was a course. Girl, I spent 6 weeks so laser focused on creating this tangible way for women to take these coping tools and techniques that I've learned and help them implement these mindset and body hacks, aligning and positioning themselves so that they're living this thriving F yes life. Am I allowed to drop an F bomb?
Oh, yes.
Okay, okay. I'm just making sure. I'm like, do I need to censor myself right now? But
You're good.
I want women to live a fuck yes life, right?
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Confident, forward focused, all of these magical things that live inside of them. I wanted to watch these women have true, huge transformational shifts in their lives. And that was my driving force. That's where I started. So after crafting up this course, kind of doing a mock, right? I recruited a dozen women, you being one of them,
Yes.
to be a part of my beta test group for the course. And the feedback was kind of crazy. Like, you guys were giving me good feedback. You were like telling me what needed to improve. You were telling me all of these amazing things. And it was like my vision was coming to life. And now that the course and the program has actually launched, I've launched it in January, I believe. And I have
Yes.
learned this whole new level of stepping outside your comfort zone. But at the same time, I'm completely in my zone of genius. And I'm literally alive when I'm on those videos and I'm coaching and I'm on my one-on-one coaching calls. And I wouldn't have realized, this is what's so important, I wouldn't have realized my zone of genius or what the next step in life was if I didn't take bold action.
Wow. That's
Yes.
oh, I just love it. I love the focus of that and just how you really bring, like, it's so evident, like, just in the videos, hearing in your voice, like, the passion you have and how this has actually affected you. You've lived this. You've had, mentors, you've done the work, you've been at rock bottom, you've had these low moments, and you put it all together into something that is tangible that people can access and listen, watch this, print out these documents, fill out these worksheets, do this journal, all of these things that is so helpful into like helping people unlock that next level of their life that they feel like, man, like, I could never go there. I could never do that thing. It's too much. It's scary. I don't know. Like, I feel like uncomfortable. Like, I don't really believe in myself. You really help like deconstruct those beliefs and help, like, I loved it. I love being a part of it. I was so glad that I did. And also just the community that you have built is incredible. And just, I love that. Like, everyone being able to like give you feedback, give you comments, talk about like, this is what this has done for me. This is what I've taken away from this. Because honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about growing and evolving and like gaining this awareness, gaining this awareness in areas of our lives that we maybe didn't have, or maybe we didn't really fully understand, and just being able to continue to try to be better and to learn different things that we're passionate about, that we enjoy and that we love. And I think you do such a phenomenal job of like wrapping that all up into something, one thing, and this incredible course that is just, I know for sure, transforming people's lives and making them, feel something that they never thought they could feel again, which is hope, which is excitement, which is this feeling of being able to, be bold and live that. So, you know what? Like, that's just incredible. And I just want to, once again, thank you for making this a reality and putting this out here into the world, because we need more of this stuff. Like, we need it and we crave it. And it's just incredible. So amazing. So
Yes.
love it so
Yes.
much. And that brings me back to one of the main focuses, you guys, of this course, which is gratitude. And we talked a little bit about it, but I would love if you could share your thoughts on the power of gratitude with me. So when did you first start? I think you kind of got into a little bit. When did you first really get into practicing gratitude and making it a daily occurrence? And what differences have you noticed as a result of this practice?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, after my bipolar diagnosis, I spent those months, like 5, 6 months, just kind of like spiraling, not feeling myself. I was lost. I would wake up every single day and I would feel hopeless and I would feel scared. How was I supposed to mom, wife, run a business and just be a normal person again? And I spent those months, like I said, in a spiral. And I honestly, like I said, I wanted to throw everything away. I couldn't see anything in front of me. It was fog, it was clouded, and legit would be so consumed with these intrusive thoughts that they consumed every second of my day. And one day, it was part of that like August time, I woke up and decided to focus on what did I have right in front of me. And I just started thanking the universe for the blankets that were wrapped around me. I thank the universe for the giggles of my kids in the next room, the water in my bubble bath. Hey, if you don't take bubble baths, girl, that is life. That is life. And the fact that I still had this successful business running in the background as I was focusing on my mental health, that was something else to be grateful for. And that's what I started doing every single day. I started opening my eyes, not grabbing for my phone, not doing anything else that distracted me, but I would open my eyes every single morning, just spouting off my blessings. And then I started following up with affirmations. And it was the only thing at the time that I felt I had control over. And I needed my thoughts to radically shift. I needed something that kept me grounded.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's
Wow.
how I started. That's how it started. And every day since then, I have done a gratitude and affirmation practice. It's just the thing that brought me back to the center. And it brought me back to staying focused on the present and trying
Oh,
not to
yes.
define myself by those looping beliefs, those looping self
Oh, oh,
sabotaging
yeah.
beliefs. Ugh, it's so simple,
Yes.
right? It's so simple, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so impactful, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's why I wanted to implement gratitude and affirmations within my course to help women navigate back to their center.
Wow. I just love that because I really feel you like on the whole thing, especially when you bring up the self-sabotaging part and having that critical side. But doing the gratitude, because I relate so much to that, because for me, I was in a very similar place myself, with being so overpowered with these thoughts, and like you said, intrusive thoughts and intrusive things that became my reality, that became my every single day, and I didn't know how to defog that clutter that I was just inviting into my life, and I didn't know how to stop. So doing that, and what it was, like you said, getting up every day and saying what your blessings are, no matter how big, no matter how small, and looking at your life right now and saying, you know what, like, where am I right now? And this is this is where I am right now, but look at, this is what I've accomplished. This is what I've done so far in my life. You have children, you have a business, you have a husband. Look at, there's so many. And sometimes, especially when we're really, really, really not doing well and we're struggling, it can become very challenging to even identify those things. Because I know for me, it was very hard to, even get out of a piece of paper and sit there and write three things down. Three things. There's so
Mhm.
many. And I'm sitting there like, just struggling, like, what do I put, like, what do I, and it's just because I was so focused on the pain and the problems, and the feelings of stress, overwhelm, feeling unappreciated, feeling unwanted, feeling all of these feelings that were just like pushing me down into not being able to do that. So I love that you bring that up, because you guys, it's so true. Like, just try it out if you have not already. Just literally tomorrow, get up, and, get a piece of paper, write down 3 things you're grateful for, or say them out loud. And like Krystal said, follow up with an affirmation. So many powerful affirmations, and just really affirming, like, this is who I am. This is who I'm working towards. This is who I'm going to be. And this is the reality. So, basically just getting us in a zone to start and end our days on the best foot possible, you guys, instead of waking up and grabbing your phone and, checking your messages and being like, oh man, like I have to go do this thing that I don't like. I have to go to this job I hate. I have to, I'm fighting with this person, or I'm in this argument, like just becoming easily so overwhelmed. Let's just start and say, you know what? I'm grateful that I woke up. I'm grateful that I have a home. I'm grateful that I have running water. I'm grateful for the friends that I have, the family that I have. Like, no matter what it is, it can be, big, small, a physical thing, like whatever it is that's there for you. Just start that. And oh my gosh, like I can't even tell you enough, like the difference that has made in my life. And you guys can hear it for sure in Krystal, and like in her story, just that difference that has made is huge, and it's so incredible. So you know what, the one thing that you guys know I really love getting into on this podcast is mental health. So I would love to ask you, Krystal, what role do you think gratitude plays when it comes to mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. So, gratitude and affirmations, it's like putting a barrier between you and society, you and the world. How often do you wake up every single morning and the first thing you do is grab your phone and you go to Instagram, and then you're playing this comparison game? Oh, I don't get to travel like her. My spouse doesn't love me like that. I don't have what she has. We're instantly comparing ourselves. Or we wake up and we read this text message from our ex proclaiming their undying love for us, and we're annoyed. Or we get an email and we're late paying our light bill, whatever it is. If we allow ourselves to immediately be consumed by society, it is infiltrating our inner peace. It's infiltrating our mental health. And we're upset and we're angry and we're frustrated before we've made our first cup of coffee in the morning, right? And so
Oh
this
yeah.
greatly impacts our mental health. If you can create a barrier, a shield, first thing in the morning, I believe that you can completely transform your day, because your beliefs about yourself, about the world, about people around you, that's what you become. What
Oh
we
yeah.
believe
Mm-hmm.
about the world, what we believe about ourselves, it becomes our focus and it becomes our truth. And I believe that our truth can be completely transformed when you realize that you have this innate ability to shift your perspective and focus, especially first thing in the morning. My truth went from being one of despair and hopelessness to one of victory and grace and compassion and love. And I started operating from that place. But it's all about choosing. It's all about choosing yourself. And during your dark times, it's really fucking hard, right? It is really hard to see the day in front of you. So choose to see the couple of things that are complete blessings in your life. And like you said, write it down. And if you don't have the strength or the ability to write it down, say it out loud. Use your voice, because your voice matters and it impacts you. It impacts you. And how can you build that list of blessings every single day? How can you begin shifting the dynamic of your thoughts every single day? You know?
Wow. Yes. 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 I love it so much, you guys. And just everything she said, just amazing, amazing, amazing. And just especially the power in writing things down. Something that I've done is, I have this, it's actually right in front of me right here. So it's a gratitude list. And I think that there's, let me see, I think there's like 100. Well, 56 things. So I started every single day trying to add more and more and more. And that is huge, because that way, when you're having a hard moment, you're struggling, you're not in a good place, you can look at that list. And then when it's, every single day you add more and more and more. So say if every day you add 3 things, right? That'll compound. And then one day you'll wake up months later and you'll be sitting there with this list of like 300, 400 things you're grateful for, 300 things you're blessed of having in your life. And, you can look at that list and say, wow, and just read through it. And it really helps, like, reframe your focus. And, especially, and like, I'm not trying to say like, do not feel those feelings. Cause when you are in that struggle, you're in that hard time, don't just try to like, get out of it, like go to gratitude, ignore it. No, like feel those feelings, but also know that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to remain stuck in that place. And I think that's the most powerful thing that, I really want you guys to take away from this conversation is, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you've dealt with, no matter what you're struggling with or facing right now or you faced in the past, you do not have to stay in that place. You don't have to remain there. There are so many ways. And one of these incredible ways and resources that I've been so glad to bring to you guys today is this power of gratitude conversation with Krystal. And literally, you guys, her life is like a living testament to this. Like what she has done with gratitude and just putting this bold mindset course together. And also, she also has a gratitude journal as well. Like she's done a lot of things and created so much value and put this out into the world for people to access and check out and try out and say, you know what, like I've tried a lot of things. I've tried so many different things and I'm still feeling stuck. I'm still feeling kind of hopeless, but this is another resource that is so amazing and so impactful. So like, I just really urge you guys to try this out and see if it's something that makes a difference for you, or if it does, like just continue doing it and continue having this be a daily habit and just practicing gratitude. So that leads me, you guys, to my last question. And I'm kind of sad because I feel like I could just talk to you all day long and this is just for hours and hours. I know this conversation can go on, but this last question, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. If you could go back 10 years in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that one piece of advice be and why?
Oh, girl. Okay. So I would tell myself to stop seeking validation from everyone outside of me, to stop checking the boxes of everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because what's happening when you're seeking validation and you're checking everyone else's boxes, society's boxes, is you're not living in your truth and
Mm-hmm.
you're not living in alignment, and you're gonna feel like your life isn't yours.
Oh, yeah.
And it
Oh,
it
yeah.
just it feels like you're stuck, and it feels like you just can't move forward because you're paralyzed. You're paralyzed by the fear of judgment, by the fear of disappointment, by the fear of failure. So I would tell that girl to lean into her difficult moments and to be present and to trust her intuition and not worry about checking the boxes of everyone else around her.
Wow. I love that, you guys, like stop seeking the validation and just checking the boxes and just really live in who you are and in your truth and in what you enjoy, what you love, because it is so easy. And this is definitely something that I can relate to 100%, that I can connect with 100%. I'm pretty sure you guys listening to can as well. Just waking up and just, doing these things that we don't really like or we don't really enjoy, and we feel, that it's not making us happy. It's actually hurting us and, really harming our mental health and how we're feeling. But we just continue doing it because, it's an expectation that has either been placed upon us, or maybe it's an expectation that we have placed on ourselves and said, this is, how you have to live your life. This is what you need to do. Once you reach this point, then you'll be happy. Once you reach this goal, then you'll be good. And I feel like it's such a common thing and like such a common reoccurring thing that comes up in a lot of the episodes is, this validation thing, right? And we're trying to, make people around us happy, and we don't want to make anybody think, oh my gosh, like she's crazy, weird, like out there. Oh my gosh, this girl. No, 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 no. Like just, it's such a good message, you guys, because, when you really start to do what you love and what you enjoy, and you wake up and you feel motivated, like you want to get out of bed instead of like, I want to stay here. I don't want to move. I don't want to get up. I don't want to open my eyes. No, like we want to be in the headspace where we want to be here. We want to live. We want to feel excited. We want to feel energized. We want to feel, connected with people and connected with ourself and our true self and what we love, instead of, trying to, fit in these boxes and, meet these goals that we feel we have to meet and we don't really even want to. So
Yeah.
there you guys have it. Just like the most incredible message we got from Krystal right there. So Krystal, tell everybody, where can they find you? Where can they check you out? Where can they like get more of you?
Yes, of course. You can find me on my Instagram at Krystal Karmatz. Krystal Karmatz. Some people think it's Carmax. It's
Oh.
Karmatz. It's Karma MTZ.
Carmax. Yes.
Yes,
And it'll
yes.
be in the description too, you guys. It'll be in there. So, yes, go check her out. If you need to follow her Instagram account, like just constantly, she's always pouring into like so much value, and just you'll feel amazing just from like seeing her post, her energy, all of it. So once again, I really want to thank you, Krystal, for coming out here on Crooked Illness and just having this
Thank
conversation.
you.
It's been so
Yes.
much fun, and I can't wait for you guys to hear this episode. And you know what? On that note, I'm going to end it here and say goodbye to all you guys who are listening. And thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Power of Gratitude. Hope you guys loved it. And goodbye to Krystal. So bye, Krystal.
Bye.
Oh,